our in-game cam will take it away. So look, we're now back on the forest. I think I reset the scoreboard. So over here on the blue team, we're going to be having Team Phantom Family, I believe they're called. This is a Taiwanese team as well. Over here on the red team, we're going to be having ELB Adjusted as well, being a Taiwanese team. So let's take a look at these builds real quick. First of all, we're going to take a look at ELB Adjusted over here on the red side. Attica, first taking a look at his stuff, running with two minions actually. He's going to be running with the Bone Fiend as well as the Shadow Fiend, and then he'll have access to that Plague Signet as well. Running with 6 runes of the Necromancer, a Scepter Warhorn, as well as a Snap, the Rabbit Amulet, and then the traits. 30 points into Spite. Obviously to get that Doomfire, just the trait of choice for most Necromancers nowadays. 30 points into Curses, and then 10 points into Death Magic. Moving on to Pilpup, the second Necromancer on this team, running with 2 runes of Lissa. This is an interesting build, and 4 runes of the Nightmare. The 2 Lissa is obviously going to increase condition duration, so this looks like he's going for straight up condition duration with the runes here. Other than that, it's also going to be with 2 minions, so we're having 2 sort of minions, 2 minion master necromancers here on this team, along with a Scepter Warhorn, once more, and the Staff, the Rabbit Amulet, and I think the traits are going to be exactly the same as well. So they might be trying to just cause some confusion with that as well, and so it could help with team fights there. Moving on once more to Elaine J over here, running with 7 runes of the Soldier, a hammer, as well as a sword, sword shield actually. Yeah, torch a second ago, I think he changed it out though. The Cleric Amulet and the traits are going to be 0, 0, 10, 30, 30. So once again, that triple shout in order to cleanse conditions and sort of counter the more condition-focused meta that we've had becoming strong nowadays. And as well with that, we may see him on the side points as well, because we've been seeing a lot of Guardians do that nowadays. Moving on now to Adjustment Master, running with, let's see, with 6 runes of the Ogre, Staff, but I think it's just for pregame, so we could see, I think, Scepter Dagger with this. Yeah, it looks like it might be Scepter Dagger. The Berserker's Amulet, and then the trait's going to be 0, 20, 0, 20, 30. Obviously, 10 points in Air Magic to get Air Training, 20 points in Water Magic to get Cleansing Wave, and then that Evasive Arcana is a trait that most Elementalists are still taking nowadays. And last but not least, we have Gianpai, I think is how we're going to pronounce it. Yeah, GNP maybe? This is how we're pronouncing his name. 6 runes, 7 runes of the Ogre. The Staff as well as so Staff and Greatsword on Mesmer is something a little weird, but we do see it occasionally. So it's not too on, but it is something unorthodox and competitive play nonetheless. Running with the Berserker's Amulet here, the traits 20, 20, 0, 0, 30, so that is going to be that usual shatter build. A lot of damage, but generally squishiness as well comes with it. And that's going to wrap up the red team, so if you want to start us off over here on the blue team, Sarah?
Absolutely. We're going to go see Phantom Family. We're going in with Fan XY Gaga. I think we're going to refer to her as XY Gaga or something along the like. We're seeing her, she's running 6 runes of Vampirism with a sword focus and a great sword, and the traits are 20, 0, 0, 30, and 20. That's very different from the shatter build that we saw on Janpy over there. Next, we're going to go with RS on Team Phantom here. The Guardian is running 7 runes of Lissa with a Staff, a Scepter, and a Torch here. Interesting to note, the heal he's using is Healing Breeze, something that's not really used very often here in the PvP scene. He's running the Stand Your Ground, Save Yourselves, and Hallowed Ground Consecration. That's so much condition control, I would say,
yeah,
for that team. Of course, Hallowed Ground is the consecration that lets you get stability. It's great for stomps. Meanwhile, let's go in with our Mimi on Team Phantom as well. She's running 3 runes of the Afflicted and 3 runes of the Crate with a Scepter Dagger, and Staff here. The traits are really interesting, actually. It's 0, 30, 10, 10, 20 with the utilities being Plague Signet, Epidemic, Corrupt Boon, and Summon Flesh Golem. Blue, what's your take on that?
Taking a look at it here, I don't know a lot about Necromancers, so I can't call this one too good. And to correct what I was saying earlier, actually, so if you're gonna look back real quick at the red team, the 2 Minion Mancers they're probably actually not Minion Masters. I had to think about that for a second. They're probably just doing that for pregame life force, just to correct what I said earlier there. But anyway, back up here to this guy. It does seem to be what would be more of a usual build here, running with Corrupt Boon, Epidemic, and Placing, and just heavy conditions in general. But what surprised me is the fact that he's not running, Doomfire.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard to tell, in all honesty. Because of my just somewhat lackluster knowledge of the Necromancer class, in addition to it not doing for Doomfire.
Yeah, that's sort of the extent of my knowledge for Necro. Obviously, I need to jump on L2 play for Necro soon with Sean, but really, this is something that I haven't seen very often. But let's continue on. Let's go with Big Long Man on Phantom Family here. An NG build that is actually something... Interesting. It's a pistol shield with the soldier's amulet, with the runes, 5 runes of the engineer, and let's find the other one. And 1 rune of nightmare just for the extra condition damage. He's running 30, 20, 0, 0, 20. Explosives and firearms instead of alchemy for that potions, but he is running an elixir C to convert his conditions into random boons. This is something I hesitate to say standard because I mean, again,
No.
there's nothing standard in the meta right now, but it's really interesting to see that elixir C. It's again one of the elixirs that is least less seen in the scene here.
Um, Now I'd almost want to question that this is a bunker build, maybe that we're gonna see here. It's a little moving towards that because
Actually, you might be right.
because we're seeing leech on it. He does have the superior leech signal. The soldier's amulet is questioning that in addition to the elixir C, the rocket boots, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. And then last but not least, we got Blueprint Dream. Just gonna real quick go over his stuff. You're not gonna articulate too much on it. With 7 runes of divinity, great sword and staff, a berserker's amulet, and the traits 10 in all the lines, and then 30 in honor. Oh boy, that's
Oh man.
that's gonna be interesting to see. But regardless, we get started here, Cyrus. So if you want to go over the splits,
Yeah,
we'll
absolutely.
get a kick in.
Let's look at that split and let's go back to talking about the engineer build because that's really interesting. We're seeing red spread out and fan out here. They're going towards the keep initially, and we're seeing blue get that henge point, but then they're gonna get their champion and or sorry, their chieftain rather, and run into the back of the keep for the sort of the back attack here to keep red off guard. Let's go and let's look at how chieftain's being taken down. Let's great teamwork we're seeing from the blue side, getting that. And they're gonna run up here. Meanwhile, let's see sort of the spread that is coming from. You'll be adjusted here. Allen's on point. Pillpop is trying to intercept. Let's go in with Pillpop because he's gonna see this blue team coming up here. He's placing down these marks. He's doing lots of great jobs. But yeah, he's gonna fear the blue team off using the choke point there in that that stairwell, but he's gonna need to evacuate here, get back to the point, and get support from his teammates. Here comes a supply crate, and here's Blue's attack on the key point here. Let's see what's going on. Looks like we're seeing Blue get on the point. Allen is finally actually got knocked off and switched places really with the adjustment master.
Those
What's going on,
conditions,
Blue?
those conditions that we just saw on the blue team really hit hard there, but they were able to cleanse
man.
a lot of them, so they were taken off there. I believe the Guardian might have done a good job of that. But once more, Big Longman is taking a heavy amount of. He might want to pop that Elixir C right now, but he does. Looks like he doesn't want to pop that though.
No,
just
he
popping
needs
his
to
heal.
do it.
He's about to go down there, so he's gonna get taken out unfortunately, as well as Blueprint Dream already being down. So definitely a bit of a rough start here for the blue team.
Absolutely, red team is in here. They've taken the lead with those kills, and they're going to be getting this point if they can get Phantom family off momentarily. Of course, Big Longman did have that huge list of just conditions he had, and he could have converted them all into boons, but they also could have been ripped off by the Necros here. Phantom Mimi's over here trying to get that point secured, but look, there's just so much red here, and little by little, the blue team is being drawn off, kill by kill, and there's RS getting the 2 off the wave of light, and Mimi getting stomped. Here comes Allen finally wiping off the blue forces from the keep, and they'll be securing that no problem. Meanwhile, at Henge, we got Big Longman doing that bunkering thing. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about Longman's build here is that he's not running grenades. He's running bomb kit, and he's running the health pack for his heal. So that tells me he wants to stay in 1 point. Am I right about that? Or am
I do think you're right about the 2 point, but in general, it just seems as of recent times that a lot of at least on Europe, because I haven't done a lot of NA scouting recently, but at least on Europe, a lot of engineers are now running bombs over grenades just because of recent changes. Right. But what's really kicking me off is that Elixir C. It's definitely something a little weird to say the least, and the use of Medka as well, which doesn't happen that much. So I do think based on that, in addition to some other factors like that. Like the leeching amulet, that he is trying to go for a more bunkerish, maybe staying on 1 point build.
Right, he's just walking into all of those condition fields, and he actually popped the Elixir C before doing that. It's not really a great strategy for that. He's going to get stomped there. Red team has 2 points. They're up 158 to 105 here. Let's go to the keep and see what's going on. Mimi and Gaga are over here. They're actually fine. And there's they're gonna backcap this here, but here comes Attica and Alan J here from the red team, and they're gonna get sandwiched between Pillpup and Janpe's minions in here. This is gonna be a fight that Gaga and Mimi are not gonna have fun with. If they come out here, they will be covered in the blood of their red team enemies here. Let's go, and looks like Mimi's down already, and looks like Gaga's about to go down. Let's look at them. Yep, there's Mimi going down. Gaga is almost out into the down state. No, she looks to be what is going on? And there, she goes
Yeah.
down finally, and looks like JMP might just actually run past her. She's gonna warp, and we'll see what else is going on. Looks like we have some action up on Mine here. Red has keep, no problem. Mine, Phantom RS tried to run over there and back cap, but Master over here for our team, you'll be adjusted, is gonna be just not even hitting him. He's using his rock dog, kind of BM. It's kind of like in StarCraft when you're watching someone just drop all their mules at the end of a game just to say get out of here. That's basically the equivalent here. It's 219 to 139. Blue is really trying to be offensive, but they're not quite able to do so. Red is going to take spawn here to just widen this gap. Blue, I'm interested in seeing where Phantom Family goes from here. I think they kind of need to put aggression on far point, don't you?
Yeah, I do agree with that. They don't seem to have the strongest team fight, to say the least, so I think it would be a good move for them to try and maybe swish around, try to surprise Red Team by going for points that they wouldn't normally expect, such as Mine right now. Although I do think Red Team is doing a pretty nice job spreading themselves out based on map positioning right now in order to compensate for that. So it is, to say the least, it is going to be a little bit tough for Blue to find a hole to break through in this match.
Absolutely, you know, Red Team is just doing a great job adjusting. They're kind of like an octopus, kind of going around the neck of Blue Team here. They're being everywhere they need to be. Phantom Family can't really get around to find a weak point, and they're just all over the place. It's just a supply crate dropped by Big Longman over here trying to get up on keep. He's just gonna run on by. Let's follow Big Longman as he tries to put aggression in on Mine. He's fine here. No one's really breaking off to get him. Let's go back to keep to see what's going on. Alan J is running towards the blue side. It looks like Pilpup and Attica have got this. Fine, Red Team's gonna push back and peel off,
and now,
realizing that Mine's gonna be taken, man.
Just to jump in here to interrupt a little bit, I do think I'm sort of seeing what Big Longman is going for. As like I've never seen anything like Elixir. We see Elixir today, which is the first time I've ever seen this played competitively. So I do think what he's trying to go for here with the rocket boots is maybe going for a far point offender or something like that, and then maybe just having some defensive traits. But like I said, it's something I've never seen before, so it's really hard to tell what these guys on the blue team are going for here with some of their builds. But I do think that could lead to be my hypothesis at this point.
Absolutely, and I think it might be absolutely tempting. He might be attempting that, and you might be right. Pilpup is going to get Mine for Red Team, but it's worth noting the Red Team has no cap points. Keep is going to be taken by Mimi, but here comes Alan J to deal with her. It's 355 to 200, and now the gap is closing. Looks like Red Team is finally appealing enough to deal with this. Blue Team might actually be back in this. They might have found that way to get around you might be adjusted. Their almost impregnable wall of defense, and they're up here now, but here's Red to deal with Mimi. Mimi's already down right next to the statue. RS needs to come over and actually just stay on point to keep it capped. He's gonna decide that actually he's just gonna be rolling in and out of the fight, trying to heal up, and there's just gonna be so much red here. Here comes the big old bomb
big long man.
From there it is, man. RS is doing so much work trying to scepter down everybody. Big Lawman knocks people away, but he doesn't realize that behind him, his teammate is down. Here's the stomp from Alan J. Big Lawman will be going down momentarily.
Also, it was a nice job that Red Team did there. I think one of them picked up on the fact that he used his Elixir C, and almost immediately after the Elixir C was popped, one of the Necromancers in the Red Team just instantly loaded him up with conditions, which really helped to clean that fight up pretty quickly.
Absolutely. You know, those Necros can also boon rip and just take all of the boons that you get from Elixir C after you use it. It's something that they could use to their advantage, and I think they might. Here's a Chieftain, attempted Chieftain by Gaga, but Attica comes in, and he's going to be messing with this as well. Looks like there's no one actually attacking Chieftain just yet. Jampy's here, and Jampy might be walking away as well. Attica is knocked down, and Chieftain's going to be wailing away at him. It looks like a really interesting notion as RS came over, took the aggro off him, and actually saved Attica's life momentarily. Interesting here. We're just in here to see what team gets this. If Red Team can get this, they're just so much closer yet, and they get it. They're 464, 468 now to 255 of the Blue Team. There was a small henge fight, but it looks like Blue Team has finally cleaned it all up. Most of Red Team is over here outside of where Udahai normally is, and RS is going to be peeling off, and it looks like Attica's the only one over here, Blue.
Indeed, Attica is going to be the only one over there, jumping over to his point of view here now. He is doing a pretty nice job at escaping, though, although it does appear the Big Longman is going to be on him now to take him out here. But with even with Big Longman taking him down here, it doesn't look like it's going to matter much, as in about 3 to 4 seconds here, Red Team's going to take the first round.
Absolutely. It's going to be 2 seconds right now, and there it is. Red Team gets that win. Big Longman actually did get that stomp on Attica, but it was, alas, it was too late, and the first win is going in the favor of You Will Be Adjusted. This is really interesting. A lot of I wonder how long these teams have been together and practicing, because I think that you'll be adjusted is just their synergy is so good. I feel like the communications is very on point here for this team.
Well, just looking, I'm just trying to observe some of the stuff that. So I'm trying to look back and forth, look at the chat here, because to be completely honest, I mean, we don't know a lot about these teams. We were kind of trying to do some research beyond Thai Alliance. I couldn't pull up a lot. So from what I gathered in the chat, possibly we're thinking the blue team is possibly a World v World guild that has come over to try this out. I can't confirm that, but they could have some synergy pulling over from there, as well as the different meta sort of moving over, so that could be the reason for some rather unorthodox builds that we're seeing here on the blue team, some of the non-meta stuff. Whereas over here in the red team, I really don't know if You'll Be Adjusted has been here before. They all are of decent rank, so we can assume they've been here for quite some time. But as far as how long the team's been together, I don't really know.
Absolutely. The You'll Be Adjusted team is just doing such a great job of pretty much being everywhere. They slipped up a little bit in the mid game there, but by the end game, they had that solid 2-cap. I just didn't let Phantom Family get the 2-cap that they needed, or the 3-cap they needed to get back into the game. And a lot of teams do try and focus on getting the 3-cap when they're so far behind. When it comes to last game, I would have liked to see Phantom Family just go for kills, because of that, I can kill, stacking kills, stacking kills. And when you get to the point where you've wiped the other team, then you can worry about getting those points and decapping for the other team.
Yeah,
that's really the only way to get back when you're that far behind.
All right, so we're just waiting right now, guys. We are waiting for the ready ups. I think we have some communication going on in the in-game chat. However, we don't know how to read it.
Unfortunately, can't read traditional Chinese. Totally would love to learn. If you want to teach me traditional Chinese, go ahead, tweet at me. I'm at MLGCyrus, and Blue's at Dr_Blue. You can teach us some Taiwanese, some traditional Chinese writing, and
I'm looking to learn Korean.
Understand stuff. Yeah, if we could, or we could do Google Translate, but we're not quitters.
The language of esports.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see if there's after the first match, the first game of the first match, the last teams opted to kind of switch out characters. Let's go through right now and see. Actually, I don't think Phantom Family's going to swap out, and I think that You'll Be Adjusted, realizing that that they're doing a great job against this team. I don't think they're going to switch up their strategy that much either.
No, I don't think so. I think You'll Be Adjusted is pretty confident at this point. Blue team might want to change some stuff up. Maybe they might want to go with I don't know. It's a little hard to try to compel the thinking, because this is meta we've never seen before, a lot of this.
Right.
So we really don't know, because there's no history to reference it, so we don't really know what's going through these teams' heads. And well, at least it's making for some interesting gameplay so far.
I'm actually really excited. What I want to see is Phantom make a ridiculous comeback, take this game, go to game 3, because game 3 is the best. They're readying up right now.
Big long man, we're just waiting on him right now.
Yeah, it's Big Long Man. What's really interesting is that this team is opting to put their team name in their player in their actual character name, which is something that you don't often see with people. So it just means that they're actually quite committed to the organization that they're playing with, and I love that, man. I think that's a great thing.
Indeed. And then just waiting for Big Long Man to ready up here, but I think we have the admins at least have given the signal to ready up. So as soon as they're all good to go, we'll get started with round 2 here. This is once again, and here we go. This is going to be Phantom Family, I believe is blue team's name. Phantom Family.
Yep.
Going up against You'll Be Adjusted over here on the red side. This is a round 2, so if You'll Be Adjusted takes this one, they'll be going on. And whereas if Phantom loses this one, they'll be bumped down to the losers bracket.
You're absolutely correct. I'm interested to see if one of these teams opts to go for the Lord Rush strategy we were talking about earlier, because I think Phantom Family Phantom Family is going straight for Quarry, it seems, sending Big Long Man over to Waterfall. Graveyard is going to be met by the red. We're going to see the side point meta once again here. Let's go over to Quarry, see what's going on. Attica's over there. Pillpop is going to actually once again intercept. No, actually, it's Adjustment Master here, who's going up against Phantom Family team over here, but let's see what's going on.
And now, unfortunately, they really couldn't push into that as well as they could have hoped to because they didn't have their engineer with them. Without the smoke field, they didn't have access to any sort of stealth or anything, so Red Team could have really just seen this coming, and I think it was kind of a mistake to have Big Longman go for this. Just to note, that Big Longman is now running grenades. I think we missed that. But he's going to be running grenades now instead of bomb kit, so that might change some things up here.
Absolutely. Now, the incursion for blue team into that far point did not go the way they wanted it to. Mimi's down. It has been down since then. It looks like Gaga is finally respawning. We're seeing Big Longman kind of, he was up there on the edges of the midpoint trying to throw down grenades, but now he's in the mid. He's using his shield skills to get those knockbacks and daze people. Pilpup is in here just wailing away and getting his minions in to do damage as well. So is Alan J. Alan J, of course, the Guardian is going to be over here trying to get rid of it seems like he got rid of RS there, and here comes a stomp on Big Longman trying to get the final stomp, but no, he gets rezzed by Gaga. It's now a 2v1, no, a 2v2 between Big Longman and a Pilpup and Alan J and Gaga. Of course, those teams are not in that respective order here. And now Attica comes in here. This is a 3v2. Big Longman goes down. Here comes a stomp from Alan J. Can he get feared off? No. Wait, yes, maybe. Alan J gonna go in for the stomp once again. Gaga tried to fear him off with that wall. Did not quite work, and Gaga needs to pull back and go back to where his team is. Actually, this might be a 3-cap very soon. It's 91 points to 31. Blue has no points here. Let's go in with Blueprint Dream here, who is trying to escape from the midpoint here and regroup with his team. Meanwhile, Waterfall has RS on it, the blue team's Guardian. Let's go in with the Guardian here and see if he can keep Adjustment Master from getting on point. He's going to be met but with Mimi and Blueprint Dream and actually Gaga. So there's got four-man incursion here from the blue team on the Waterfall. They're going to cap it, and here comes the blue team aggression on the Graveyard. Let's go to the Graveyard point. Adjustment Master and Alan J are on the point. Janpy is trying to get on point as well. Gaga is doing so much damage from afar with his greatsword. So many just illusions and clones of him are running around. RS is in here to do damage as well, but Pilpup comes from behind, and he's going to be using his minions for the red team's advantage. Again, it's at 150 points to 46 right now. Waterfall is actually under contention, but it looks like it'll be locked down by blue, and they won't have a problem with that at all. Blue, what do you think is going to be blue team's way of getting back into this game?
It's kind of hard to say. It does look like they're pushing for middle right now, which I kind of think is a bit of a mistake. I kind of agree with a little bit with what we saw last game as well with the whole hashtag side point meta thing. In general, it's really hard to take mid now with the new meta, where it's just really focalizing on AoE kinds. We're seeing that now with blue team, Blue Point Dream and Phantom getting hit, or Phantom or Mimi, I think is his name, getting hit down by that, and Blueprint really couldn't even take that. So I think it would be better for them to try to focalize themselves on the side points a little bit more, but the question is, to counter that a little bit, is do they have the mobility to do that, which they may not have because of Big Longman not being available for stealth moves-ins, and just in general, they don't have a thief to use that kind of mobility. It's just, I think it's coming down a little bit to Blue's comp here that might be hurting them.
Yeah, I think I would totally agree as well. Of course, we're seeing a double Necro comp going up against a single Necro comp. That's just so many conditions, and really even in the NA scene, double Necro tends to win out above the single Necro compositions here. Big Longman dies on point, gets the Adjustment Master gets the stomp, and he's going to cap, and they're actually going to 3-cap possibly here, as Pilpup and Alan J are on point mid, and it doesn't look like Blue is going to get that point anytime soon. This is such a heartbreaking game for Blue here, because if they lose, they're down to the losers bracket and they can be knocked out from there. Janpy comes in using the portal from his teammates. It looks like Pilpup is locked down here. Excuse me, lots of damage is going on. Look at the AoE skills going on here. This is what we were talking about before. So many marks, so many just conditions. Look at that. Mid is just a slaughter fest. It's a kill zone basically for anyone using those AoE conditions. This
is exactly why I say why blue team really shouldn't be going for mid here. It's really just because, and especially because red team has 2 necromancers. It's kind of just a slaughter if they go in there unprepared. If they maybe could use a little bit more, just spreading themselves out a little bit, it could help them out. But really, just with a point like that, it's really just hard to avoid the onslaught of the necromancers right now.
They did. A big lawn man did actually manage to back cap his home point, which is something that you don't normally hear. But Justin Masters here, the fire elemental is going to do the additional damage. And although big lawn man does have that supply crate down, Justin Masters running around trying to deeps all those down. It looks like just the flame turrets left, and he's got none of his automated friends there. Big lawn man will probably be taken down here momentarily. Meanwhile, we're seeing the push from red to the blue team.
Oh boy.
They've got 350 points. This is going to be a Lord Rush. They want to end this right now, Blue.
Indeed, they are going to be pushing in for that right now. We have Gempi as well as Attica, Necromancer, Mesmer combo moving in. They are going to be oppressed, however, by Blue Point Dream, who's falling back right now. Attica, Gempi opting to try and take down the NPCs a little bit before they engage here instead of just going directly in. However, that might be a little bit against them now as they do have a 2v2. 3v2 changed up in here in just a second as Adjustment Master tries to come in here. Big long man as well. So we are going to have a pretty big team fight, and I think this is actually going to go in Blue Team's favor. Gempi is down. The Lord has not even been engaged yet. So I do think this was a bit mistimed by the red team, but in all honesty, I think they're pretty. I don't think they're worried. Even if they lose their numbers here, I don't think they're too worried about it based on the current score.
Absolutely, they're at 400 points right now. Even if they totally wiped all 5 of them, they'd have another chance after the respawn to really push and get that Lord. They don't really need, because I mean, look, it's 144 to 414. If Blue doesn't If Blue doesn't cap mid, Adjustment Master is getting Waterfall just for the hell of it, because he's got nothing to do until his teammates res and come back and help for that final push. Really, actually, there's action on Quarry. Phantom RS was trying to back cap, and Pillpop's going to get this stop. No, Pillpop's going to go get it, but it looks like Blue Team is really focused outside of their gate here. We're in with Blueprint Dream right now, the Guardian right now, and just look at the amount of people that are knocked down in front of Blue Team's base. It's all blue. They're not able to get on points. Red's finally getting stomped and pushed back, but Red's also the only one with capture points right now.
Yeah, and taking a look at the scores, Gerald, just really seemed like Red Team had the stronger composition here, and possibly synergy as well that we're looking at it. There's a lot more score going over to Red Team's favor, like we saw last game as well. So that along with, and I really think it's coming down to the composition of the Blue Team here. It might be just this map as well, but just looking at it here, it just definitely seemed like Blue Team was having trouble with taking on team fights in addition to having the mobility to back cap as well. And I think those two big factors have attributed to why they sort of ended up coming out below the red team here.
Absolutely. And, we're also seeing sort of Pillpop and Attica, the two Necros for the red team, just done so much work. Let's pop up the scoreboard right now, and I mean, look at the scores of the red team compared to the blue team here. It's 175 for Justin Master. He's the guy who's been going around getting those kills. There's the win for the red team. That's a 2-0 again. No, we haven't gotten to the rubber match game 3 yet, but I'd totally like to see it. It looks like that the You Will Be Adjusted will be moving on to face Strange World, the Japanese team.
Indeed. Taking a look at our brackets here, let's jump over to those. Sir, if you want to brief us on what we had go on so far today.
Absolutely. So earlier in the first match, we saw Thai Alliance 2-0 Lag Wars to face. Now they're going to move on to face MFC in the next round. And of course, you just saw You'll Be Adjusted face Phantom Family, and Phantom Family unfortunately went down 0-2, and You'll Be Adjusted will go on to fight Strange World in the next round as well. So we're going to see Phantom Family drop down to the losers bracket. And also, they're going to be joining Lag Wars, but we're going to also see the next couple matches soon. The loser of the next match, which is C, I do believe.
I think we're actually. I could have misread it in the chat because it's in a different language, but I think we're going to go to F for the next one. So we're going to go to Nine Dragons versus Vampire Katana next.
Right. So the next thing we're going to see is Nine Dragons versus Vampire Katana. The winner and loser of this will also drop down to the losers bracket, but it'll be in a totally different round of the previous losers, and we'll give you a nice rundown of everything once that gets all said and done. So guys, I think we're going to throw it to a 10-minute break, right?
Indeed, I believe 10 minutes. I think if we're getting the timing correct with the admins and whatnot. But we're gonna take a real quick 10-minute break, guys. If you want to check out the brackets for yourself, just right there in the chat, just do ! brackets, and our little Nightbot will spam that for you. You can check that out. But guys, we're gonna be on a quick 10-minute break. We'll be right back. Enjoy the music as well, and I'll stick around.